What's up, everybody? On a podcast now. I'm Alex. In this video, we got to talk about the dream game. We actually freaking got it. And I got to be honest, this was the furthest thing from my mind when watching a Nintendo Direct this morning. Who could have predicted that not only that are we getting a remaster remake of sorts of one of the greatest visual novel games, and also just an incredible freaking video game. Danganronpa is one of my favorite franchises. I got in not right away, but actually pretty close to like the origin point, and I was blown away the first game with just how fantastic it was in literally every single way possible. Again, massive fan. And when they talked about this in the Direct, it actually got better even like 5 minutes ago before I hit recording, because you're watching it and you're saying, okay, remaster, remake, revamped visuals and overhauled for modern consoles, that kind of jazz. Okay, the standard stuff. Cool to get a re-release. I'm totally fine with that, just even if that's what it was called, right? But this is Danganronpa 2x2, and so in the trailer, when the guy's narrating, right, he's talking about like the general kind of like corporate lingo. One of the things he talks about is like that separate scenario. And the way that I thought he meant it was like, it's one thing. There's one crime, and so you're going to have like one trial that's almost like this alternate universe version of Danganronpa 2. It's going to happen kind of side by side with it. And they say, different culprits, different killers, all that, a different person who is killed, right? All of that jazz. So it's like, all right, that sounds awesome, even if that's all that it was. But in reality, as people have actually taken a look at the website, that's not what this is at all. This is a revamp, so like a remaster of sorts, right? But why it's literally called Danganronpa 2x2, it's an entirely second game being attached on. And now I don't know for sure if it's literally like an alternate, like parallel universe type situation. Because again, are we talking like all of the exact same characters, but different outcomes? So like the order maybe changes, or how they're killed changes, or who is killed and by whom, that's all changed. But they literally say, and including on their own website, this is a second scenario that is just as long as the main one. And when I saw that, ladies and gentlemen, my jaw freaking hit the floor, because you're not just doing a remaster. You're not doing a remaster with like a DLC mission, which, to be quite honest with you, is what I thought I was getting here, which I would have signed up day one immediately anyway. But no. You're giving me that, and you're giving me literally Danganronpa 2 again, but just like a new Danganronpa 2. I've never even heard of something like this, to be honest with you. Immense value. You also, by the way, have the creator who's supervising from afar, right? It's a different team, but he's kind of like watching over it. And I do think that's important, because I guess what you quite literally are doing here is making a new Danganronpa game. It might be the same characters, it might be the same cast, I mean like voice actors as well. Like that could happen, but if you have to write brand new like scenarios and situations and who's going after who and why, and you think about some of the beauty of this game, it is the characters, it is their storylines, it's their backstory, it's what's going on now, and then it's the twists. You get into that trial and that thing is going to take like 5 different turns you didn't expect, and then there may or may not be a 6th one just to throw you off just a little bit more. That's what they are. And the reason that works, by the way, is because it's very clever writing. Like, you got to have some talented staff there. And so, he's supervising. He's not, like, directly involved. Could it be a lesser version of Danganronpa 2 the second time? Yes, but I mean, regardless, even if it is, you're getting 2 different Danganronpa 2s, which I will take every day of the week. So it's not the game I expected. Again, getting a somewhat of a re-release of 2 was not on my mind when I'm thinking of Metroid Prime 4 and you're seeing things like the Fire Emblems of the world. But it's, to be honest with you, this is probably the announcement of the show for me. This and Fatal Frame, although now knowing that you're getting 2 versions of this, I think this kind of has to be number 1 on my entire list. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.